I'm joined here with Tomo and Shannon from 30 Seconds to Mars. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat with us.
You're welcome.
Looking all cool and excited playing Dublin.
Just trying to stay warm, to be totally honest. If you really
want to. Yeah, it's cold here in Ireland.
This is my warmest jacket that I have. That's not enormous, so
excellent.
I went for it.
Okay, well, the new album's out a couple of months now. This is War. It's been doing really well. You guys have said that it's a concept album, which seems to be something that fans are getting really big into recently.
I don't think we've said that. I think we've said it's conceptual.
It's kind of the same thing.
It's really not, actually. A concept record is telling one story. This record is telling many different stories within the songs.
Yeah.
So there is a difference. Definitely.
And this album basically was about just it took a couple years to make the album, and it's about those years of making it, really.
What happened in those years?
I mean, a lot happened. We were being sued for $30 million.
We're in the middle of a historic election in our country.
Yeah.
You know, obviously everyone knows how it turned out now. It was a very big deal.
Financially, the world was falling apart. I mean, a lot was going on, you know. And personal growth. So, and it's all in the album. You know, everything we experienced. Emotions, yeah.
Okay, so if you're not going to label it as a concept album, what is your opinion on concept albums that are coming out to like some pure bands that are around you now in the music industry?
I mean, I don't have a take on it. I don't really have an opinion.
It's like a concept record. That's a big thing to take on. And if you're going to make a concept record, just make sure you got your story right, because you're telling a story basically.
Yeah, for sure.
From front to back, you know. So, but I don't know. I mean, I never really think about that kind of stuff, to be honest.
Okay, some critics have described the album as being prog rock, kind of fitting into genres, you know, very different to your past albums.
Yeah.
It's always something that bands are they can get a little bit like pissed with, you know, like what kind of, you're getting pigeonholed into one particular genre. If you had to describe your music to somebody that hasn't heard it, how would you describe it?
I still don't know how I describe it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, especially since we never make the same record twice. That makes it very difficult to place us in a genre.
Mm-hmm.
3 different albums, 3 completely different sounds. But this record, I think you could describe as a celebration. You can describe it as the sound of what was going on in our lives at the time and the world, you know?
Yeah, and also victory.
Yeah.
The sound of victory, you know?
But optimism. It's a tough question to ask the people who created it, you know?
It's really left up to each individual's own interpretation of it, you know, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we definitely don't think about it that way. We certainly aren't sitting around saying, like, I wonder what genre this is going to fall into. You know, we just...
Yeah, I didn't necessarily mean...
I know you didn't. I'm just saying, you know, for us to even try to describe it.
Yeah, you don't really, like, sit down before you write an album and go, this is going to be...
Yeah. It might end up, like, sounding like that at points. I mean, there's definitely... We're all certainly into some progressive type music and some electronic music and different types of rock bands, classic and new. So, you know, we draw from a lot of different places for inspiration.
I mean, with this album, there was definite goals that we wanted to reach, and there was a definite sound we were going for, you know. We wanted to have something that was raw, something that was honest, something that was energetic at times, cinematic, you know, just, we wanted everything, you know. And that was kind of the template for the album.
Cool.
And then, fortunately, during those couple of years, everything that we experienced supported that template. So. And
the producers for this album, you actually worked with, like, Steve Lillywhite, who's produced Susie Sue, which is going back again in time away from the prog rock. What made you decide to work with these particular producers?
Well, Flood and Steve Lillywhite, we both worked with.
Yeah, of course, Flood worked with like Nick Cave and things again.
9 Inch Nails.
Darker,
U2,
Polly Harvey, a lot of people.
Yeah, that was amazing, huh? I still can't get over it.
Yeah, every time we think about
they're like our friends. I'm like emailing him.
Those guys, they're big producers for us. I mean, they've made some of our favorite records, if not all of our favorite records. You know, and you know, Flood particularly is someone that we've always wanted to work with, and when he agreed to do it, we were just ecstatic.
Yeah, the sounds that they've come up with and produced have been really amazing, man. And they've been really rich and powerful and poignant. Yeah, and poignant. You know, and they were the perfect guides to this album.
So could you see yourself working with them again, or once
Why
again
not?
on a new project? Would you prefer to bring on kind of fresh?
Anything's possible.
Depends really, but yeah, we could definitely see ourselves working with them again if it was the right team.
Excellent. Okay. And tell me a little bit about the Kanye West thing that happened with. He recorded some tracks for you, didn't he? Or one track for the new album?
Well, basically, there was a song on our record called Hurricane that Jared wrote in 2007 in Berlin, and that song was really almost completely done. And Jared had met Kanye a couple of times, and the last time that they spoke to each other, Kanye actually approached Jared about working together on a video of his. And you know, we always knew that we wanted a guest vocalist on that song, and I think it just kind of naturally turned into Jared asking him if he would be interested. He came down to the studio and heard the song, and he liked it, so they started working on it right away, and it just kind of...
And Kanye wanted Jared to direct the video as well, but the timing wasn't right.
Yeah, that's how the whole meeting really happened,
Yeah.
and then Jared approached him.
And like, did you have to sit down as a band and think about that? I mean, because his music would be a million miles away from.
No.
But the thing that's interesting, yeah, his taste and his choices are a lot of what, I mean, they're really tasteful, you know.
Yeah.
The sounds, like the rich sounds and the 80s type feel that he has. It's
Yeah, the funny thing is they're actually quite similar. To
they're
the
very
things that we
similar
like.
to what we were, the sounds that we were doing. And he's a guy that just takes, you know, risks, and you know, he does his own thing, and we like that, you know.
Excellent. So would you like to write with him in the future, maybe, or?
Like I said, anything's possible, you know, you never know.
And then the title track from the album is actually, it's used in a game.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins game.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. It's being used in a game so you can spread the 30 Seconds to Mars love around the world and everything. How would you feel about your music being used in advertising to market particular products or whatever?
It depends on the product.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean...
It depends on the product. You know, if it's for like Jack Daniels or something, you know, I don't
Probably
think
not gonna
we
do
wouldn't
that.
do Jack Daniels, but it depends, you know.
Yeah.
And it's nice that people want to. I mean, it's flattering that they want to use our song, you know, for certain things.
You know,
And
that game in particular, it was, it kind of just worked. They presented us with the way it was going to look, and, you know, when we thought about the song and the images, it just really seemed to fit, and we were like, yeah, we might as well. It's going to be a cool ad.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then as well with this album, the whole Faces of Mars project that you had, that was pretty cool. I mean, you had, if you want to explain it yourself, maybe.
That was an interesting 2,000 different faces.
Yeah,
the record label was really excited about that one. They couldn't wait to get their hands on all of that.
Oh,
basically, the idea, I mean, simply was 2,000 people submitted over 2,000 actually submitted their photos, but we chose 2,000 people to be on the cover of our CD. And
well, actually, it was really the first 2,000.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's more than that to submit. And then what's cool about it is if someone doesn't get their face, there's a trading that can happen on the internet, and people can, you know.
Oh, okay, good. So they can actually get their
It's just another way to instill more community.
Yeah, because you guys you're pretty big into the whole community thing. But as well, you have some celebrities on the CD covers. You have like Kat Von D, Bam Margera. Did they just submit their picture normally as well, or
they're friends.
They're friends. So you decided just to put them on it as well.
We have friends, family, you know, fans.
My dad's on the cover.
Yay!
It's cool. You know?
Excellent. And I suppose even though it wasn't a marketing campaign, you know, it was done, but it is similar to the thought process behind it, to the viral kind of campaigns that happen these days. What do you think about things like that? You know, maybe coming up to an album, leaking a few songs, or...
That's a tricky...
Like you were mentioning 9 Inch Nails, like the way they did with Year Zero. I'm not sure if you were familiar with
I think you have to be
Yeah.
careful how you do that kind of stuff. You know, a band like 9 Inch Nails, I think it's a little easier for them, or Radiohead, for instance, to do something like that.
If you're a newer band, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But if you're already established, you have the fan base and you have the notoriety and all. I think it's a lot easier to
But in years to come, you never know.
In years to come, you never know. Exactly.
And you made your own guitar.
Me and my dad, we made a couple.
Your first guitar. How can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, there could be people watching that who are like, I want to make a guitar.
Yeah, don't do it. It's so expensive and so hard. The money, our big plan was to save money. We'll make a guitar because, you know, we're handy and creative, and why not? Let's give it a shot. But
craftsmen.
We ended up spending so much money making the guitar. I probably could have bought 5 of them. that would have been better.
Right? So
But the experience was
still,
great.
you
and,
made a guitar.
and it did make me.
I've never made a guitar.
Yeah, it did make me fall
might
in love
make
with the
a guitar.
instrument.
She might make a guitar.
I think you should make a guitar.
I will, and I'll take a picture and post it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put
But I played it.
We can tweet it to each other.
How'd it sound?
That's the thing, is it actually sounded incredible because we used really good parts.
And a lot of love was in it.
And a lot of love was in it, and that does make a difference.
And as well as making your own guitars, you are also a pastry chef.
I would not call myself a pastry chef.
Yeah, he's a pastry chef.
I went to culinary school, yes.
And I mean, do you make food for all the guys on tour?
No.
Every day.
He's getting all of
And it's good.
He does.
No, I'm not embarrassed at all, but I don't. You know, it's like, do I know how to cook? Yes. Would I do it professionally? No.
1-800-TOMO-CHEF.
Yeah.
Check it out.
TomoChef.com.
And I just want to add something interesting that I saw and I don't really know about, so I want you to tell me about. Is your parish show coming up? You're asking everybody to dress in white.
Knights of the White Shadow.
Knights of the White Shadow.
We do theme nights on tour because it's fun, really more than anything
Yeah.
else, and we know that a lot of people will participate. So we started off really as a joke in the beginning, and then we were like, oh, you know what? This could be fun, and we started making a bit more.
And also, there's a deeper meaning. Like, I mean, we've always been interested in the people listening to our music. In the very first show, we were interested in that, and it's always been a shared experience.
Yeah.
So we try to do things to support that, you know, and you know, with the 2000 album covers, with White Knight, or the Blood Balls that we've had, or any kind of thing like that. We, you know.
Once again, it's kind of make the fans feel like a community.
Yeah,
or
yeah, exactly.
A lot of bands, and this is totally okay as well, they like to kind of
turn into assholes.
well, no, just keep it separate, and like they, you know, the creative experience is their own process, but
Which is cool.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But we are more interested in kind of inviting people inward rather than pushing everything outward.
Yeah, well, I mean, without them, you wouldn't really be sitting here. You wouldn't be interviewing.
Definitely the fact, but that's also not the reason. It's because we actually.
No, I know for sure. Yeah, you actually have a keen interest in the
Mhm.
people that are, you know.
Mhm.